And welcome back, everybody. We've been on a bit of a break. It's been a bit of a hiatus, but we are back with Sparkling Tuna Cup number 5. I'm, of course, your host, Light VIP, and with me, as always now, is the lovely, the beautiful, the magnificent. Welcome, Chase.
Thank you, Light. I hope you're over here, because I actually don't know which direction you're in. But I'm here. We have a ZvZ first up.
Oh yeah, I got it just for you because I know it's not a PvP. I know it's a shame. I know that's your speciality, but I think you're pretty good at ZvZ.
Yes. Speaking of well, actually, this is completely off the topic, but I actually, I changed Chappy's clan decal. Yeah.
Oh my.
Speaking of that, spawning in the bottom left position with the new decal. Playing. I don't even know whose team was that. It's Chappy.
You know, I know that, historically you struggle when it comes to teams and where people are from and stuff like that. I'm like, no, you can do Chappy. You'll be fine.
Wait, what team is Chappy on?
He's teamless. He's teamless.
I wasn't wrong, okay? You threw me a curveball.
God.
I struggled with teams.
Shaking my head. And here, spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 Atmospheres LE, we have the South Korean semi-finalist from last week, but now representing a new team, now representing Genesis Gaming, it is Threepoint.
Threepoint.
Like football.
Yeah, like tennis.
True.
There's 3 points on a tennis racket.
Ah.
Light.
Uh-huh.
I see you pull first.
Oh.
You know what else I see?
What else do you see, Chase?
A hatchery first.
You're not wrong, mate. You're not wrong. So diving into this ZvZ, of course, Threepoint did go for a little bit more of. Would you say pull first is aggressive or safe? To be honest, like it's.
Against a Korean player who like Threepoint, I've seen his stream. I'd say he's gone for something aggressive. There you go, bailing nest straight away. The correct response, Chappy actually doing quite well. He's gone actually bailing nest before speed here, which is super safe. But normally you just keep 3 drones in gas. Get the bailing nest the moment you get the 50 after ling speed, and you normally play out from a decent position, but we see here that Threepoint's actually committing, so this is actually a very safe move for Chappy, and it may work out here. Yeah,
it's one of those things where Chappy's not necessarily the most active Australian player, but I'm sure he's, he recognizes Threepoint, he knows how he plays, and like responding like this is gonna work very well for him. He even evacuated his natural base just in case, so he's taking this very seriously.
Yeah, and the big thing, Chappy's got 2 queens out now, which means he can lift the ramp. Sorry, he can hold the ramp. He sees more lings coming about now. Chappy's normally, sometimes he gets caught off guard, but I'm feeling like he's in a good position this time around.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm honestly pretty impressed, especially because of how in the past he's responded to like aggression in ZvZ. Like, his scouting has been on point. He keeps confirming that more lings are coming across the map. The Banelings are about to finish up, but they're not ready yet. Up.
That's right, the Bane's coming in. Threepoint seeing these own Banelings from Chappy quite late. He's just going to back off, and something you may have noticed, Threepoint's actually not committing. He's droning, so this could just be to throw Chappy off, and Chappy's committing a lot, but yeah.
Yeah,
very strange.
It's one of those things where Chappy, he's defended, as you said. He actually made a massive wave of lings. Ling speed is about to finish up, so now the turns will table. Now Chappy is going to be the one on the offensive.
Yeah, you're not wrong. And actually, when Chappy had that Ling Scout earlier on, he actually saw the creep tumor going down from the Queen. It wasn't an inject, so I don't know if he noticed that. But these 3 Banelings going to be very pivotal in defending here.
Exactly, with the 3 Banelings. No, one of them gets picked off. Oh my god, there's only 2 left. Up.
Oh, the micro. He's in.
Oh, he's in, but the Baneling's still alive. Oh my god, Chappy.
Oh, and the Baneling's gone. There's more Banelings morphing at the natural, but this is some good damage from Chappy, and he's droning behind it.
Oh my god, he is droning. One lone Baneling has got a 1 lid. Oh my god, he does get a connection. 5, 6 drones go down.
Oh my gosh, Chappy, just like that, he's gone up 10 drones. That's really, he's got his third base down too, but there's a lot of lings coming across the map, and Chappy actually doesn't have any lings now. It means he can't wolf in banelings. I think the third won't be lasting too long.
Oh, yeah, exactly. Like, unfortunately, there's nothing here to defend the third base. There are no safety bailings. Chappy is fully walling off on 2 bases, but again, that does completely give up that third base. It will get picked off. Hopefully, we see a that was not a cancel.
Oh, no cancel. Poor Chappy. And, I think this is where... this is where the game's going to deviate a bit. Both players going for Lair. Honestly, I feel like 3-point may go for a spite. No, he starts the Roach Warren, starts the +1 attack. And this is an open wall. There's a couple Banes here, though. And I don't know if that was a debate by Chappy, but he holds it off. And it looks like we're just stabilizing, like 36 drones apiece.
Yeah, we are just stabilizing here, but the big difference is that Chappy is taking all 4 of his gases. He is the one going for +1 melee and looking to go into mutas. So it's going to be on 3-point to recognize what's happening, and if he does, then pull the trigger and maybe even try to end Chappy before he gets his mutas out.
Yeah, it's an interesting choice considering 2-base opener versus 2-base opener roughly. But the thing is that normally when you go for this melee build, your opponent doesn't have a baneling nest, which because of 3-points opening, he does have.
Yeah.
So if there's a couple of timings that 3-point could maybe do if he recognizes what's going on, denying the link scout there well. But as time goes on, Chappy's going to get in a better spot, and if he is caught off guard, he just have that Roach Warren.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's an important thing to point out, is that at least Chappy does have that Roach Warren, so he can go into them if he needs to.
Oh.
Meanwhile, 3-point gets in with a Changeling. He sees everything.
Changeling sees the Spire, the Changeling sees Chappy's drones are working in optimal conditions. Meanwhile, almost cancelling the third base here, but I feel with his roaches, he's gonna stop it. Oh, the Banling! Oh, more links.
Oh my god, he right clicks on the hat-trick. Can he get it? Can he get it? No! He doesn't get it!
Unbelievable, and 3-point's actually going to move out now because taking out those Zerglings, that's a bit of map presence that Chappy had, and now he's going to be forced to, he can't keep these roaches home. He's just going to cross the map and hit this +1 timing.
Yeah, exactly. Chappy's trying to desperately to get this third base back up and running. He was actually trying to go for a run by, maybe catch reinforcements, maybe snipe that third base, but the roaches of 3-point are here. And there's not much to defend. Chappy, he's throwing down a Spine Force that is natural. He knows that he cannot hold on to his third.
Yeah, and trying to snipe this third base at 3 points. Well, if he got it, it would have been in a better position, especially with the 2-base versus 2-base Muta approach. But this is pretty non-committal by 3-point actually. And as you see, he's going back into draining, grabbing a second Evo, and Chappy, he's committed quite a bit in the spines. He should be fine here, and with the Mutas popping, yeah, 3 points gonna go.
Yeah, Chappy, he has survived to the point where he has mutas. His wall is a wall, like he's safe on 2 bases, so now he has the map control. 3-point has got to make a couple of decisions here. What does he do? He's losing a couple of roaches for free. He loses the map presence. Is he going to throw down a Hydrogen? Is he going to try and go up to Hive for Vipers? Right now, he's just making nothing but Mass Queen.
Yeah, that's right. We do see that Changeling was still hanging around. If 3-point was looking, he would have seen that +1 attack did start on the Spire. I mean that Chappy wishes to invest further into this. So 3-point looks like he's going to be dropping Infestation Pit, maybe going up into Vipers. And I feel like it's looking. Chappy's going to have a 4th base, which is great, but I'm not sure with how this fast Infestation Pit and Hive will go up against Mass Spire, because Vipers are just so good.
Oh yeah. Vipers are amazing. Of course, the downside of Vipers is that you do also rely on your opponent miscontrolling, right? Like if Chappy's on point with his splits, then he's gonna be honestly pretty good against that sort of thing. And I'm just surprised because we still don't see like any kind of Hydrogen or anything like that, and that's what I was interested in. Because there was no other dedicated anti-air, 3-point's actually going for Infestors.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, switch up there and kind of see something important to notice this game. Chappy has scouted the lack of a 4th base. This is where, mirror matchup, you kind of take the advantage with a faster 4th. But this kind of it choreographs to Chappy that 3-point wants to go for a big kind of timing. He's kind of turtling up a bit here, but I feel like we're going to see some sort of big push, even a Hive coming down, which maybe contradicts that, and a Hydra down.
Oh.
So maybe 3-point's just looking to turtle up and pause the game.
He's got to turn low. He's got to pause the game.
Really gonna slow the game down here.
Well, I mean, he's getting ready for the late game. He's gonna go to the bathroom and make sure he's all like emptied out, so he doesn't have to like disrupt anything in the middle of a big engagement. So he's getting ready for it.
That's alright. Like very, very good analysis. Yeah. Yeah, I think Chappy definitely wants to control this area too between the third bases. He wants to make sure there's no overlords in case they can throw up a creep highway, get those queens across the map, because as this game goes on, these queens are building energy, and he's going to want to use them once he's infested his bot.
Oh yeah.
Chappy now looks like instead of transitioning, he's just going to go into Bane speed and just go for the big kahuna with his extra 7 to 8 gases.
So they call it the big kahuna?
The big kahuna from my native land, yes.
Let's go. Meanwhile, 3-point, you know, Hydra Lurker Viper is going to be coming out for him, I imagine. It's pretty interesting that he went for Infestus first. Maybe it's just like a safety precaution, right? Like in case things went down before he had his Hydras up and running, he wanted to make sure that he had the Queens and the Infestors to survive against mass Muta. But yeah, an interesting choice because it is kind of like almost a waste of gas in a way.
Yeah, we have two kind of styles colliding here. You've got the ultra efficient, like energy based, and you know siege lurker spore out of 3-point, and you've got Chappy who's just going to be going for the mass economy kind of like mass trade. So we see a lot of Banes morphing actually at the 12 o'clock. You might want to run in, which is not a bad idea actually. But some roaches are patrolled by 3-point, very smart. But it'll be interesting to see how this game kicks off.
Oh god, they're on patrol, but 3-point, he doesn't notice. Okay, there we go. He does pull the boys, but doesn't even matter. There are so many banelings. Up!
Oh my god. Oh, there's the connections. What? Oh my days. And as we mentioned before, 3-point's playing a very, you know, conservative 3-star base. So that losing that many drones, 11 drones in this kind of situation hurts him a lot more than if Chappy lost 11 drones.
Oh yeah, exactly. 3-point, he's down heavily in the workers. The Mutas are still getting a lot more work done. I'm honestly a little bit surprised that Chappy isn't going into a hive himself behind this. You know, not just for upgrades, but maybe, you know, even transitioning into like ultras or something. I don't know, or he himself going into vipers. But yeah, okay, there we go. Now he throws down that infestation pit.
Oh my god, he heard you like, the divine Chappy knows what's going on. Pops in, he sees his gases aren't completed at the 4th base yet, which is even, you know, great news. His Bane's coming to the 3rd, actually. Some great connections. Oh my god, Chappy is playing out of his mind, honestly.
Yeah, exactly. What the hell is going on? I thought this meant he was an old, retired man who hasn't touched StarCraft in months, and that all may be true, but he's still playing so goddamn well.
Oh my god, another run by it. And it looks like, oh, his moves will need to be careful next to the Vipers, but this is great from Chappy. Great moves. Might even snipe a Viper or 2 here. Light looks like he will get 1 and back off.
Yeah, but at the cost of all his mutas, as he does kind of patrol over those queens, so he does lose a decent chunk. But I say all his mutas, mate, he's still got so many more. Jesus Christ, in total, this madman has 24 mutas.
Yeah, that's right. And as you pointed out earlier, like you need to be able, you know, Vipers do counter mutas quite well, but you need to be able to, you know, you need enough parasitic bomb, because otherwise Chappy, being the GOAT player is, he's just going to split his mutas off. And I'm curious about how this game, I feel like 3-point's unit composition is better the longer the game goes on, but Chappy is, you know, his economy is ramping up. He's up to 5 bases now.
Yeah, it's one of those things where, like, if we have a head-on engagement, I do think that 3-point will come out on top. But Chappy just keeps going for all these run-bys, and he just keeps finding openings, like time and time and time again. He gets into the 3rd base, the natural, the main, and he's looking to do so again.
Yeah, we got a 3-prong attack here. Banelin's into the 4th base, Ling run by into the main, and Muta's jumping on these queens. This is very calculated here by Chappy. He's going to get 32 drones killed. Oh my, 41 drones.
Oh my god. Drones went down literally in every single base. There's only 1 base mining left, and that is the natural. We're down to 16 drones for 3-point. And it's one of those things where the problem with 3-point's army is that there's just so much to control. We saw that in that fight, he wasn't fungling. Like, his infestors were kind of waddling around. He wasn't throwing down any parasitic bombs. He has so many spellcasters, and he's just struggling to deal with Chappy and what he throws at him.
Yeah, that's right. You know, it's hard enough controlling like this very micro-intensive army that 3-point has, but when Chappy's hitting you in 3 different directions, requiring 3 specific responses, you know, it's quite another Bailey run by coming to the natural. Which you might even kill the base here. Like, no.
Oh my god!
Look at to save it. But curiously, His Banelings have they have +2 attack now, which actually one-shots drones.
They do one-shot drones, and they're almost gonna one-shot that hatchery, mate. It's almost dead. The Lings in the main base may even, like, they almost sniped the spawning pool as well. Like, Chappy's just been all over the place, and threepoint just hasn't had the room to breathe. Finally, the first time in like 10 minutes, he's moving out across the map. He just gets caught.
Yeah, that's right. Trying to put some counter pressure on with these roaches, but the mobility at Chappy just shuts it down completely. And the the fourth base of threepoint is gone. And now as this game goes on, I don't really see a way for threepoint to get back into this with ultras on the way too.
Yeah.
You know, there's lurkers, but there's only 8 of them, and when you're dealing with like 10 gases from the Zerg player, they're gonna be pumping out ultras, like you know it.
Yeah. Let's go. Like, Chappy, he's gonna look at how much he has. 2k gas banked up for the ultra switch. He has the spare supply as well. Doesn't quite have the minerals, and he is lacking in carapace upgrades, so it may be a little bit difficult to break through the line of workers. But nonetheless, like, ultras with kindness plating, I mean, they're pretty beefy.
Yeah, damn straight. And oh, man, it looks like a really rough position for threepoint. Chappy's actually gone up to 90 drones, which is insane. The style he's playing is super appropriate for this, you know, just trading off and on. And here we go, another run by coming to the third base, and there's a couple lurkers in the fungal stopping their run by. But as time goes on, like, you know, it's just threepoint needs to figure something out, or Chappy's going to figure out soon enough. He can just, you know, stop being aggressive and just drone up. I'm not drone up, but, you know, play the economy game.
Like, I understand, like, threepoint's position. Like, he basically just has to turtle up until he maxes, and, like, he's just been having a hard time. He's been failing at turtling in a way. He just hasn't been able to hold on to his natural or his main. Like, run-bys keep getting in to the point where it's too late. It's an almost unwinnable position for him. Obviously, like, with spellcasters, there's a lot of potential, right? Maybe he can have one miracle big fight.
Yeah, that's right. If you look at the active forces tab, you can see the gas of threepoint's army is just so much higher. Even with these ultralists popping, it's so much higher than Chappy. And it's just it's kind of this situation, right, where if he does move out, you know, he's just going to get countered and stabbed in the back. So
Yeah.
you're right, he has to turtle up and then max out. But you know, what happens when he maxes out? Because I don't think he's going to win a base trade versus Mutiling Bane Ultralisk.
Exactly. Like, it's one of those scenarios where ideally he wants one big fight, but Chappy has no reason to give it to him. You know, he's just been doing such a good job at harassing, at keeping the base count low, and yeah, Chappy, he can just mine out and just continue to trade. Like, eventually at some point, threepoint needs to expand. He needs to get another fourth base.
Yeah, that's right. Where's he going to take it? He's spreading creep towards his prior fourth base, but it's just like playing versus Terran, right? Like, if the turtling player kind of like overextends, or they try and secure a new position that makes them vulnerable to either the position they're trying to secure or to a kind of run by elsewhere. And then we see here, Chappy's actually going for a Nidus, so he's feeling very comfortable in this game. He's getting burrows, getting vibes, he's getting the works, like he's getting everything.
Oh my god, he's getting every single upgrade in the game right now. I don't know if it's even necessary, but you know what? He's doing it anyway. Maybe he can find a way to Nidus into the main base with all his ultras, question mark, with the Ling Bane run-bys. Regardless though, threepoint slowly encroaching on that fourth base. He may be able to slowly take it, but again, that gives Chappy an opportunity to dive in.
Yeah, right. That's right. And actually, I don't mind this Nidus play, because as we see, looking outside the natural threepoint, he's fully fortified, man. He's got so many lurkers. He's finally got that lurker count up from 8 to 25. Sniping a Viper there, very nice too.
Yeah.
And this is the soft underbelly of threepoint, and it's just such an awkward situation for him.
It really is. Meanwhile, all the meters are going to throw themselves away, but it looks like they're going to be able to take out the natural. Transfuse, puppy!
The transfuses are happening. Chappy gonna get those meters away, very low health. It just feels like, yeah, like lurkers packed together are very good, but eventually he's gonna have to expand. He's gonna have to spread his lurkers out as we see a couple more moving to that fourth base. Nidus going in the main, actually. Can he see that? Yes, he does, but will he react to it? And all of this is going on. Threepoint's only on 3 base still.
Yeah, still on 3 bases. Like, he is starting to mine out. Meanwhile, that Nidus will finish. There are plenty of queens in position, though, so, I mean, the Nidus isn't really going to do too much here. It does get picked off, but Chappy doesn't care. He just denied the fourth again. Like,
Yeah, that's right. He's actually posturing outside the fourth base too, and this is one of those examples of spreading the units even thinner than Nidus. Like we saw, Chappy didn't have any units in that Nidus, but threepoint doesn't know that. He has to
Yeah.
commit, and now that he knows that Nidus is around, he has to commit lurkers to hold this position here.
Yeah, and now we have, in a way, almost wasted supply here in the main base. It's going to be stuck here for maybe even the rest of the game. All the infestors are here in the main as well, so if there's a big fight, they're not going to be available.
And keep in mind, Chappy's actually got his own lurks now.
Oh my god.
So he's gonna siege up the fourth base. It looks like he's gonna just kind of shark around. But if you look at the map, he's taking every base. Like he's not stopping. He's going everywhere, man.
All your base belong to us, mate. There's almost no creep spread at all, but who needs creep when you have all these bases? And as you were saying, with all these Vipers topped up on energy, we'll see how good the control is, and we will see how good the abducts are going to be, or blinding clouds even.
Yeah, I really do like the Vipers. By Chappy here, gonna come in with these ultras, snag a couple, and it may not be the most cost-efficient trade. You might lose an ultra for a Viper, but at this case, he's got overwhelming economy light, and it's just we're playing the late game. But one player's on, 3 base, or the other one's got. Let's count it: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
10 bases, mate. Oh my god. At the same time, we have a Nidus into the main base. We have another bit of a run by here at the third, but again, look at... There's like a field of lurkers. There's 2 giant fields of lurkers right now. Chappy can't find a way in, and threepoint is maxed out. He survived, and he is getting a 4th base. Like, he is not winning, but he's still in this.
Yeah, that's right. He's managed to max out. His army... It's a pretty solid army, actually. 30 lurkers. The one kind of thing though, like it's a very good army now. That's why you see Chappy transitioning. It's very good versus Ultra Link Bane, which is like Chappy's transitioning away from it. But I feel like maybe not often you see Broodlords, but would Broodlords work here a lot? Do you think
Yeah.
I can't really transition away from it, can you?
It's one of those things where there aren't that many spores. There are queens and there are vipers, obviously, but you have your own vipers to ward away the ones of your opponents. So I do think the broodlords would be pretty good right now. We, of course, even have upgrades dedicated to the spire, so that works even better for Chappy. But yeah, he's kind of got his mind elsewhere at the moment.
Yeah, I think we could see threepoint, because threepoint is a very strong play. He's very strong with his aggressive builds, but you're starting to see, he's adaptable. He's about 5.6k on career server, and to be that good, you need to be able to be versatile. We see just kind of sitting back and making 30 lurkers is pretty versatile, I guess.
I love that. Yeah, like. We saw it last week, and we were even talking about it, how, for those who don't know, threepoint, he's like a Korean ladder hero who's known for his cheese, and now he's in a 20 to 30 minute game. We're seeing a side of threepoint that has never been seen before, not even on his stream.
Yeah, that's right. And honestly, Chappy, he probably wants to get rid of those ultralists now at this stage. He just kind of needs to hold this position and just wait threepoint out, right? Because eventually he's gonna have, what, 3 times the bank. He's already getting quite a sizable bank here. The only kind of chance for threepoint, I assume, he's getting Swarmers, actually.
Oh my god, exactly. Meanwhile, every single Viper just got yoinked. Threepoint, he's able to escape with 2 of them, but I think he just lost 4, so that was a hefty loss there. And that's exactly it. As you were saying, Chappy just has to be patient. Like, maybe he's being a little bit inefficient, but that's fine because he has a bank and threepoint doesn't.
Yeah, you can afford to be inefficient when the game looks like this. Throwing around these ultralists, their role is kind of served, and very smart move here by threepoint, recognizing the position he's in. It's quite a futile looking position, but going into Swarmos, which it gives him some aggressive potential, and it also allows him to trade more cost efficiently because locusts are free.
You're not wrong. Swarm hosts are an interesting choice. A very interesting choice indeed. Especially because he's going for a Nidus as well. As there we go, Nidus has finally popped out threepoint. He's looking to expand and take a 5th base. And again, that's huge. The fact that he's still able to get bases. Is still a world. Like he's still got a shot.
Yeah, that's right. It might start looking a little bit rough for Chappy as threepoint. He's secured the 4th base, now going for the 5th, but while this is all going on, Chappy is mining so much. He's, it's just going to be so hard. You see the trays have Chappy's actually diving with his spores light.
Oh my
I
god.
wonder what happened yet.
Yeah, the spores, they burrow in forward. Meanwhile, the entirety of Chappy's army is getting fungled, but there is not enough for a follow-up. The fungles were good, but we need a little bit more than that. Meanwhile, the ground army of Chappy gets evaporated here as he drops 50 supply. They still got that bank.
Yeah, that's right. And threepoint actually manages to hold here. Reasonably efficient trade. He's still maxed out. He's feeling comfortable making 12 drones here. And I'm curious to see how Chappy, now with his army kind of reset, what game plan he goes for here.
Yeah, like honestly, that was a great defense by threepoint. Like he traded so well there. He was able to stand strong. At the same time, he actually counterattacked with Swarm Host. He killed the base towards the bottom right hand side for Chappy, so he is dealing some counter damage, and Chappy's aware of that, so he throws another Spine Forest around his fresh bases.
Oh man. I was just watching threepoint. I thought he was going to kill his Nidus one with the Vipers, but he pulls away in time, and I think you're right. Like this is, it's kind of got the stage where, like, if you look at
the Swarm Hosts are across the map, they're across the map, puppy.
Oh my god, they are too. And Chappy's actually got Spine Crawlers in position here, and that's not a bad choice. And I think it looks like he's just going to go for a. Do you reckon we're going to see some Lurker versus Lurker? Because Chappy, even though his Lurker count's small, he's got so many more Vipers.
He does. Maybe, arguably too many Vipers. Like, we have 11 Vipers here for Chappy. Jesus Christ. And he still lost that base, by the way. The bottom right. My god. The Locust Wave killed all the spines and the base. So threepoint, he's dealing some counter damage. But here we go. Chappy completely rotated from the left-hand side all the way to the right.
Yeah, that's right. And the thing with this many Vipers is you can just blanket the entire base and then kind of take it out, because each base for threepoint is more important. And Chappy's base is really good. Microbial Shroud, though, he's going to get all these Vipers.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
The splits were okay. 5 Vipers barely survived with barely any HP left. At the same time, threepoint, he goes for a Nidus into the main base of Chappy.
That's right. This lane just decides not to attack. I guess I don't know, but the Nidus is going to get up with the Swarm Host, and there's some important tech in this main base lane.
Yeah, and Chappy is out of energy. Like, he can't keep pushing forward with his army, so he doesn't find any more room there. And the Swarm Host, they go deep into the natural. They want the hive. They want anything made.
That's right. Unfortunately, they're going to have to settle for these spines, which are auto-aggroing them. Looks like he will get the infestation pit.
Oh,
no,
the hive.
Away,
is he going to get it? Transfuse.
Oh, Chappy transfuse. Threepoint focusing it down, but it's going to live. But, you know, these Swarmers are still just kind of big chilling, and the Ducklings finally it's going away.
At the same time, there's a big fight over the right-hand side of the map, and Chappy loses every single one of his Vipers. Just like that. True Parasitic Bombs is all that he needed. Meanwhile, the Swarm Hosts across the map, okay, they don't get another wave off. They managed to barely escape into that Nidus.
Yeah, the one Zergling actually got 3 Swarm Host kills there, so it's kind of, it's still a decent looking position for Chappy, but we're starting to see maybe. It's kind of interesting, right? Because threepoint's known for being aggressive, but he's playing this situation out quite phenomenally.
Oh yeah,
honestly.
this madman, he's got a cool head on his shoulders, mate. Like he hasn't been panicking. He knows what he needs to do, and Chappy is running out of that bank. Like the massive disparity in terms of banks isn't as large as it once was. Like threepoint, he is slowly closing that economic gap, and he has just been fighting better.
Yeah, that's right. These Lurkers now actually pushing out of this contain that Chappy's got. He'll need to be careful though, because if there are Vipers here, he'd probably lose a lot of these.
He lost all the Vipers earlier, so he doesn't have any.
Right. He's actually Chappy's gonna come in anyway, and he just sniped 1 or 2 Lurkers, was it? But yeah, it's I know, like.
With Chappy, he just remade 7 Vipers, so finally they're on the front lines. Finally, they're regathering that energy. So any kind of momentum that threepoint had earlier, now he shouldn't have as much of it. But there we go, another Nidus towards the bottom right. Chappy just retook these fresh bases. The spines have not been rebuilt, and threepoint is looking to take out some more hatcheries.
Yeah, that's right. These Locusts popping out. Keep in mind that the Swarm Hosts, the Locusts are 3-3, so they're gonna kill stuff pretty quickly. And Chappy, it still looks like he's in a very good position. He's going to prevent this Nidus in the main with the Lurker, but I feel like maybe a bit of lack of experience here. He's not sure how to actually close out this game.
Yeah, like we never saw that Broodlord switch that we were talking about earlier, and his fights just haven't been looking as good. Meanwhile, bottom right, bases are falling. Hatchery just went down. Bottom right, Hatchery is looking a little bit vulnerable as well. Chappy is thinking about maybe diverting his army over and responding, but he thinks better of it, and he just stays on the left-hand side.
Yeah, that's right. Actually, if we look at the the units lost for this game, 3point's actually been more than twice as efficient as Chappy. So normally that's the case when you have like kind of Lingbane opener versus a turtley kind of Zerg, but at this far into the game, 30 minutes, that's not what you want to see, even when you have maybe twice as many bases as the opponent. So
Exactly.
It's tough, like.
I just want to remind everyone, there was a point here in this game, 10 minutes into the game, where threepoint had 16 workers because he lost like 46. Like massive run buys. Like Chappy was just harassing like a madman. And even here, like we see a couple of parasitic bombs, but immediately threepoint, he just pulls away, he splits up his army, doesn't deal too much damage, and in come those locust waves.
Yeah, that's right. Chappy being forced to back up here, and smart of him to take out the rocks. Probably could have done that with his earlier push, but we see, oops, some lings gonna get caught out by these lurks on the other side of the map. And yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure what Chappy is gonna do here, like, because as we see, he just can't find a way to break him. He can't find a way to get past this armor. He even tried the Nidus Worm, but even now there's lurkers in the main.
Oh, maybe this is the move though. We do see, what, 5 lurkers all on their own here on the right hand side. We do have a couple of yoinks, and finally Chappy, he's gonna get a couple of these lurkers.
Very nice move by Chappy, pushing while these Spore Crawlers are not yet finished. Does only end up with, I think, 3 lurkers, because 3 of them do get away, and 3point rotating this side of the map. And this is the advantage you kind of have as the aggressor playing versus sieging players. You dictate where the fights are most of the time, and we see some exchanges going on between the Vipers, and
yeah, just like that, 2 of Ducks, 2 of Chappy's Vipers get picked off. We even have some parasitic bombs thrown down. This time Chappy does split well, but now that the army has rotated over, Chappy's gonna have a hard time finding damage.
yeah, that's right. And Chappy, again, he's still kind of containing, but it's more of a soft contain. 3point probably recognizing that Chappy doesn't have as much energy on his Vipers and trying to push forward a bit here. But again, you know, it's just kind of, it's coming down to the Viper game, right? It's Viper Lurker at the moment with some Swarmos dabbled in, and I think Chappy he's still mining a lot more, but I think this bottom part of the map is going to be very important for this, this contest.
It really is. Like, I feel like 3point, he knows that he wants to push in, has to be a little bit careful. We do see a couple more Ducks coming in from Chappy, bearing in mind Chappy has almost double the Viper count of his opponent. Again, investing a lot into these Vipers, but they do need to suck on some buildings. They need to gather that energy, and I'm still waiting for the next Locust Wave. Like, we haven't really seen 3point be as active. There we go. Locust Wave comes in top left.
Yeah, there we go. Luckily there are some some lurkers here for Chappy, which will slow down this attack, but the top base is going to get taken out from Chappy. There's a good move there by 3point. But this is kind of, I want to say it's better from Chappy because, well, now he's letting 3point kind of move out a bit more, which is not so good. But this is what he needed to do earlier, just kind of wait, because his opponent needs to expand to keep up. Even though he's trading better than Chappy, 3point he's still trading, he still needs resources. And here we go, a couple of Ducks coming in, and Fungals, and everything just getting parasitic bomb light.
Oh my god, it looks like the splits are not good enough because of the Fungals. A lot of these Vipers were softened up, and just like that, we had 11 Vipers, now we're down to 3 here for Chappy. He's attempting to rebuild them, both of them are. They both know that Vipers are the key unit here at this stage of the game, but after those losses, I don't know if Chappy can keep on pushing. I think he does have to give 3 some more breathing room.
Yeah, that's right. Another Lucas Rave ready for 3point. He does just drop it off now, and we see 3point starting to actually break out now. He's starting to kind of solidify position here. The one kind of big difference between our two players is that Chappy hasn't got these Spore Crawlers supporting him, so every time he tries to trade, he's kind of, well, obviously he's trading worse, but these Spore Crawlers are allowing 3point. He's turning an offensive position into a defensive position, so
yeah.
This is wild.
Yeah, unfortunately, because of the lack of creep spread, Chappy just hasn't had these like outposts of Spore Crawlers to help support his lurkers. So, you know, he can't like abduct into Spore Forest like we've seen 3point do to great effect. So Chappy's, yeah, that's also why he's been having a hard time in these fights. Again, he's trying to rotate over. He's trying to maybe find another way in. Maybe he can. There's only 3 lurkers defending the third base. Oh.
He could jump in here. Another Nidus going off. 3-point in position with the Vipers, however, and again, he literally parasitic bombs every single Viper, and I think almost all of them are going to go down light, and again, 3-point holds.
I almost want Chappy to have like 2 control groups of Vipers or something. Like, this is not working. Like, every single fight, like 3-point comes in with 2 parasitic bombs and just Chappy's Vipers just fall. And there we go again, 7 more Vipers, and these are expensive. Look at that, Chappy, he lost his gas bank.
Yeah, that's right. And actually, the Chappy, he's at 60 drones, which is solid. It's not a foolproof kind of, but 3-point's had 40 drones, but he's only really mining from 2 bases, which, you know, it's both a good thing because he can dedicate more to army, but it's also, you know, despite everything going on, 3-point's bank is still super low, and he has overtaken Chappy in the gas, however. But I think that now that Chappy feels a bit oppressed, a bit threatened on this bottom side, these lurkers and spore crawlers of his own are going to help his own defensive front. So yeah. Expect to see the game stabilize at this stage.
Yeah, like finally Chappy has some decently fortified bases here with lurkers, spores, no spines, but he doesn't need them, and because of that, now he's able to stop the advancement of 3-point. But 3-point also denies mining here at the rich Vespian gas base, and there we go, now he takes the gas. Oh.
Yeah, that's right, and Chappy again pushing at this bottom front. Something might like to see from Chappy, maybe adding in a couple of queens just to transfuse those parasitic bomb Vipers, but looks like Chappy now he's getting a bit of decent damage done, but I have to say during this game though, 3-point's Viper control is just it's been on 3-point, but it's been on point. And
unfortunately, Chappy's control just hasn't been on 3-point. It's been on himself. It's, I don't know, mate. It's oh god.
You see, 3-point's actually got these changelings too, keeping tabs on this army. So actually they can't see on the high ground. Actually, he's going to see them now, but yeah, I think the game's going to start opening up now. Now that, because on 2000 atmospheres, it is quite choky for the first few bases, and it opens up a lot. But Chappy's actually managed to drop a Nidus at the natural.
Yeah, let's go. Nidus in the natural. We do have the other end of that Nidus here in the middle of the map, so we can just go straight on forward. 3-point, he sees it. He does rotate some of his lurkers. It looks like he'll be able to deny, but Chappy, he just walks into the natural.
That's right, Chappy's taking this high position. Might want to move those lurkers in a bit more, but this is huge for Chappy, even though there are some lurkers from one side and Vipers on the and Swallows on the other. This is a difficult position to contend with.
Yeah, it really is, but in come the parasitic bombs on both sides. It's just like that 3-point, he splits immediately, and a locust wave even came in to help clean up a lot of those lurkers of Chappy. Chappy, he can't push in.
Yeah, that's right, and 3-point actually still has 24 lurkers, and the attack gets repelled. And keep in mind, like, there's no economic damage done. That was just full trading.
Jesus.
And check out the units lost now.
I was about to say, this is the second big fight that Chappy has just dropped 50 supply in a matter of seconds. He just, boom, just like that. It was a nice move. It looked like he caught 3-point out of position, but again, it did come down to the positioning of his own lurkers, being on top of the high ground, you know, his own Viper control. His queens, if you notice, they came in after the fight ended. Like Chappy's queens, like there was nothing left to transfuse by the time they showed up.
Yeah, and I'm starting to get to the point where I think that Chappy might want to start, instead of committing into Hydras, he might want to start, you know, going Queen instead and conserving that gas and building spores of his own, because, well, he's going to run some Lings in here, but these Lings, they're just going to get demolished.
Yeah, they just get shredded up. A couple of them survive and a couple of them are dealing damage, but they will all be cleaned up. Meanwhile, 3-point continues to take out the top left-hand base with his locust waves. Oh god, and yeah, Chappy, I feel like I feel bad for him because I've been in this position before. He's probably like, I was looking so good earlier this game. There was a point where 3-point was on like a 1 base economy, 1 base, and Chappy was up like 100 supply. You know, he was like macroing all over the place and denying it, and it's like slowly been slipping away. And props to 3-point.
Right. Indeed, props indeed. So many lurkers. I still feel like, you know, Broodlord transitions maybe would have worked out, but now do you see how many spore crawlers there is, and the Viper micro from 3-point. I'm not sure if it's still feasible at this stage, as he secures another base that is quite uncomfortably close to Chappy, but Chappy does have his own spore crawler for us now.
He does over towards the bottom right, unfortunately, not towards the bottom left. So like there are holes in Chappy's defenses and maybe some avenues of attack that 3-point can take advantage of if he does notice it. But I agree, like at this point it's too late for a Broodlord switch. Like the time for that has come and gone, and Chappy has like missed that window of opportunity to go for it. Now he's actually switching into Swarm Host. We'll see how that, I mean, he's got to be efficient, right? Makes sense, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, you can copy what your opponent's doing, but the problem is Swarmos don't really help when your opponent is, you know, being aggressive like this. And as we compare the territory between the two players, like Chappy's got a lot more kind of empty territory that he can't really protect, where 3-point's very fortified in his fewer bases. So
yeah.
It is something new. You know, if your opponent's doing well with it, maybe you can do well with it. But I'm not sure how this will work out at this stage of the game.
Yeah, we'll see how he makes use of it. Meanwhile, speaking of Swarm Hosts and making use of them, 3-point does go over towards the top left, does deny a lot of mining here at a base that is almost mined out, to be fair, so it's not the most critical of things, but he actually kills a decent amount of these spores, which may come into play later.
Yeah, that's right, and as we see, 3-point is now knocking on the doorstep of this bottom right base of Chappy. These spore crawlers, you know, you will want to protect them, but if we look at the lurker count, like, you know, there's only 4 lurkers for Chappy, and they're kind of scattered around, not really being too efficient.
Yeah, he's got far more Hydras and Lurkers, and I don't blame him because, again, he just doesn't have a lot of gas to work with. He just can't morph them all in. Meanwhile, we do see Chappy try and send all of his Locusts in to kill a hatchery, but the transfuses were on point. 3-point loses nothing in that engagement, and I worry due to that Lurker count. At some point, there's going to be nothing to stop 3-point from going in.
Yeah, so apparently, I'm not sure. Does microbial? Sorry, not microbial. Does Blinding Cloud work on buildings? I assume it does. It's Microbial Shard that doesn't work. And actually, Chappy does manage to get a couple of good, what's it called?
Parasitic bombs.
Parasitic bombs.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, like, the queens are here, and actually they all survive. So
yeah,
I'm starting to really think that this is 3-point's game to take at this point.
Oh yeah. How like just the pendulum has swung back and forth, one and the other. You know, it started off with like a pool, like it was a gas first opener from 3-point coming in with like Ling Bane, and now suddenly 40 minutes later, here we are. This is game 1 of our tournament chase. Game 1.
Yeah, that's right. I'd actually like to see, you know, Chappy has got quite a few Swarmers. I'd like to see him commit the Locusts elsewhere. You probably get at least a couple of spores, just pushing this position here. It's the most threatening position, but you know, all the queens are here, all the lurkers are here, and it's, I'm not sure if he's going to be able to take the space out.
Yeah, to be fair, it's one of those things where if Chappy didn't have his Swarm Host here, it's possible that his base would have already been broken. Like, I don't know, right? Like, it's he's like up against the wall right now. He's struggling to survive. Like, yeah, but I do agree. Obviously, they do better, like harassing elsewhere.
Yeah, with the I think with the because it's kind of, if we know anything from this game, it's that a defensive Zerg with a Spore Crawler wall and Lurkers and Vipers can possibly hold any amount of units.
True.
As we've seen, but actually, something you notice here, like the Vipers now at the top point, and I might actually not going to get this base, but I think what we're seeing here is, like as you said, we've all been in this position, right, where you get the lead and you wanna kind of capitalize on that, but at this point I feel like Chappy needed to just, you know, hindsight's 2020, but Chappy needed to just like accept, you know, just sit back and mine the map out. Because at this stage of the game, you know, even though the banks aren't extremely crazy for 3-point, if you look at that army value, he's got a lot more lurkers and a lot more Vipers.
He really does. But you know what? Chappy is fighting his heart out here towards the bottom right. He does send out a Locust Wave. He's going to try and push this army back as best he can, but Locust Wave is running out. He does kill, like, what, 4 Lurkers? So he does make some progress here, but it's not going to be enough. And those Vipers from earlier, they're back. Yeah,
decent moves. Would have liked to see the Vipers kind of drop some more Blinding Clouds before 3-point's own Vipers appeared, but now we see 3-point is getting his own Swarmers into position here, and nice little pick off there, but I think that 3-point might move in here with the Vipers with the Locusts.
Yeah, here we go. Locust Wave comes in. More Lurkers are getting picked off, and quickly checking here. Chappy is down to 1 Lurker. He has 1 Lurker left, buddy. Oh no!
And where is that lurker? As far away as possible.
It's in the main base.
This is the natural selection lurker. This is the one that breeds. But yeah, I'm thinking if we actually look at the work account too, like Chappy, like 3 points he's securing the top bases now, and Chappy's lost his economic advantage. He's down in drones, almost slightly, but he's mined out a lot of the gas, and the few gases that are left, it looks like 3 point's going to be taking control of them.
Yeah, I just have mad respect here for 3point for dragging himself back into this game. Like, he was dead half an hour ago. More than 40 minutes ago. He was like, it was not looking good for him. But the mental fortitude it takes for you to drag the game out like this and to force like all these different like engagements and opportunities was absolutely insane. We'll see if he can keep it up, because here we go. Chappy's going in once again with the with his Locust, but again, he just can't get this base. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's right. And one small thing to take note of, 3 points lurker position, if you see it, it allows them to maximize the damage on those locusts if they do attack the hatchery. It's actually like parallel to it. So
yeah.
Cute small little move there. Random Viper going to yank an Overseer, and Chappy is out of gas right now. And I think checking out the gas bank for 3 point, gas and energy is the name of the game at this stage, and it's looking good for our Korean Zerg player.
Yeah. I mean, Chappy, he has been starving for gas for a while now. Again, just trading a little bit too inefficiently. His Viper control just wasn't up to snuff either, where it needed to be. And I mean, it goes to show that Chappy going to Locust when he did, into Swarm Host when he did, was the right call, because he was just running out of money, and it is keeping him alive in this game. But is he really living? It's a real question.
Yeah, that's right. And even though like these Locust, the Swarmers are keeping Chappy in this game, 3 points had his Swarmers around for longer, and they, the longer you have a unit that is like the Swarm Host or an energy-based unit, the more efficient it is. And I think that with this Nidus dropping at the top position as well, yeah, Chappy, he can't really make anything apart from Lings and Queens now, and I think this could be a slow, painful death. Like,
it has been a slow, painful death, mate. It's been oh god. He goes for another Ling right now. No, the Lings are gonna go down because there are just locusts all over the place. That's the crazy thing. Because 3 point has had such a low drone count for such a long time, he just has locusts he just has lurkers everywhere. So Chappy just can't find a way in.
Yeah, he's actually got 28 lurkers, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
And you can see Chappy's kind of, idea. He's got so many lurkers, covering the outside. It's a late stage of the map, the game, sorry, and he has to cover so many places on the map. Maybe he can sneak some Lings in, but as you said, he's literally got lurkers everywhere, and because of that low drone count, he has more lurkers than a normal Zerg probably would expect to see.
Yeah, I'm sure Chappy was really surprised at what just happened as well. The fact that he's like, hold on, I know where your lurkers are. You can't have any at home. It's like, apparently you can. It's crazy. And I still want to give a bit of a shout out to this one lurker in the main of Chappy.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's the GOAT. The GOAT lurker. He knows his role.
Mate, he's killed 4 Niduses.
he's not a hero, he's just a working lurker. And we see Chappy's Spore Forest is broken, and both sides is, Chappy thinks he sees the army one side, he maneuvers to the other side, and there's an equally strong lurker Spore Forest here, and I think I think it's over.
Yeah, I mean, we can see Chappy can't even max out anymore. Like, if he wanted to, he could probably max out with, like, Lings and Queens, I guess, but, like, that's not an ideal army. Like, he's really struggling. Quickly checking, does he actually... I don't think he has any gas available to him. He's mined out of gas. There's zero gas guys left.
There is no gas left, and it's bad enough having, like, a no gas bank versus a 4,000 gas bank opponent, but when that opponent also has 28 lurkers, which is... That's what, 200 gas each? GG is called, and Chappy taps out. 3 point will take a very well-earned game number 1.
Wow, GG, well played. We knew exactly what series to jump into. It was insane. It was a 50-minute game.
That's only game 1.
That was only game 1. And this is a series that could go all the way to the Ace match, because as a reminder, like, even though that was a slow death for Chappy, Chappy, there was a moment there, or there was a period there where he was winning, where he was in complete control, where he was almost in an unlosable position. So like, I guess what I'm trying to get at is that Chappy, he can take it to 3-point. He has his own strengths that he can rely on. But yeah, it's just a bit of a shame how game 1 went for him.
Yeah, that's right. Chappy did outplay 3-point in the early game. He got those 41 drones at one point.
Yeah.
But you have to also think, when you get that far ahead as Chappy and you manage to lose the map, how does it affect your kind of mental psyche, right? You might want to push to be a more aggressive in that stage, but I think in that kind of situation, being aggressive is not the right thing. You just want to sit back and hold the map and spore up.
Yeah.
So,
like,
see.
I guess what we're saying is, if anyone in the chat has contact with Run Amok or with Probe, get in contact, give Chappy a hug. give him a hug, because it can be just so brutal to experience a game like that, mentally, I mean, and I hope he's okay. I hope it doesn't affect him too much. Less than 3, Chappy. Less than 3.
But you're probably feeling a little bad too, like considering you made him sign up to this tournament.
Oh god.
We'll have to see. Hopefully, yes, Chappy can bring it back, but we have to say, you know, for how tough it was from Chappy's point of view, 3-point played that masterfully, given the circumstances. You know, a lot of Zergs would have just tapped out at that stage or just gone for an all-in. He knew what to do. He played cost efficiently, and it's one of the reasons why it's, you know, he's Korean Grandmaster. Not even at the edge. He's up there. He's a decent player. So Genesis has got a player on their hands for sure.
Oh yeah. I mean, mate, we knew how good of a player he was going to be, especially because, you know, he did hit the semifinals last week, in last week's Sparkling Tuna Cup. So 3-point, he's a great player, and it's great to see him performing well. It's great to see him being picked up by a team, because he's been teamless for a long time. So like, clearly, you know, people see the value that he has and the potential as a player that he has.
Yeah, that's right. It's phenomenal, isn't it? It's good to see teams still supporting up and coming players like this, and hopefully Chappy will get a team too, because he at the start he stuck it to 3-point, right? He did. He played phenomenally.
He really did, and oh boy, that's why I'm really glad that we did have this as our first series, because of how competitive it is between these two players, and we'll see who was able to come out on top. We'll see if we can get an ace match.
An ace match indeed. But first, this man here needs to take a game. Currently teamless at the moment is the Australian Zerg. Can he put in another strong performance? But can he finish it out? It's Chappy.
And spawning in, let's go! Spawning in the top right hand corner of Hardwire LE. This man just won a 50-minute game, and he wants the next game to be 5 minutes long. He's going for a 12 pool opening, representing Genesis Gaming. It's the Korean Zerg. It is 3-point.
Do you reckon he's going to pull the drones?
he better.
I think he will. Yeah, that's a spine crawler.
Yeah, 100%, mate. Let's go. I love it. I'm sure 3-point, despite winning the last game, was horribly uncomfortable. He's like, you know, he's like in alien waters. He's like, what is this? We're past the 10-minute point and the game isn't over. What's going on? And every minute that passed, you could feel his skin crawl. And now he's in his element.
Yeah, and here we see Chappy's just started his spawning pool right now. Curious to see, will he pull, or is it just going to be one drone? Oh, looks like he just wants to take out the natural here, so...
Oh my god!
Ooh. He's going to cancel. Let's go! He is! And that is outside the vision light of this hatchery.
Exactly, it's outside the vision, so the spine is going to be finishing up, and Chappy has absolutely no idea. He does see the links in the middle of the map, so he's now aware of the 12 pool, but he doesn't know about the spine, so he doesn't know how dedicated this is.
Yeah, that's right, and this spine is going to get up, and it's only going to have just over half hit points, so it's not going to be the most devastating, but you know, Chappy, it's going to make holding the space that much harder, and here we go, he's just going to see it now.
Exactly. The drones are going to get a decent surround, but the rest of the Lings are about to rock up. The spine finishes, and ooh, drones are falling left and right. There's only one drone gets picked off. Not bad, but
yeah, one drone gets taken out, and this spine it can be utilized also by threepoint to reduce some surface area. And I think Chappy's just going to have to give up this natural base. He didn't get the best situation from the start.
Yeah, exactly. Like he even had 2 Lings get surrounded as well. A little bit unfortunate, getting popped out of the eggs. And threepoint, he goes straight into the main base. He wants a little bit more damage. Oh, catches a Ling.
Yeah, that's right. And one thing we noticed, Chappy only had 2 drones on gas actually, so he just got 100 gas right now through his circling speed. He's in a very tough position. And threepoint's not finished. He's going to come up with this spine crawler.
Oh my god! And Chappy has to respond, otherwise the spawning pool will be under threat. The queen gets surrounded. Oh!
The queen goes down, the spine crawler roots, and I think this could be.
This could be a couple more Lings are coming out. The spine finally gets picked up. It looks like Chappy will just barely survive, but he lost 6 drones and the queen.
Not only that, but he lost his natural as well, and threepoint's already got a natural finish and 2 queens. This is actually not the biggest commitment by a Korean Zerg player, and he takes a commanding position in this game. But as we know, like, commanding positions don't mean you win the game.
Commanding positions mean nothing, mate. What are you on about? The GG gets called, and threepoint will take the series 2-0.
2-0. So after that 3-minute game on average, what was it, like 34-minute games? And rough one for Chappy, very rough. He's a very solid player, and he showcased that in the first game. But threepoint going for it was a creative strategy too. It's one, you don't know, do you commit too much, do you undercommit? And Chappy just kind of he bounced between the two. He tried to hold it, and then he tried to back off, and in the end, threepoint just takes the victory.
Yeah, really well won there by threepoint. I think what's more important though is that obviously game 2 is kind of what we expect from threepoint, but game 1 really kind of broke like our stereotype of him, like our view of him. Like we always thought of threepoint as just like a cheesy, player. But he showed us that no, he can. When he's forced to, he doesn't want to, but when he's forced to, he can play a long game. He can play a macro game.
That's right, and that is a trademark of the good players we touched on before, is being versatile, adapting to different situations. You can get away with cheesing every game, but once you get against people who are good enough, you kind of have to deviate away from that play style. And as we saw, threepoint, he steadied the ship. He kind of slowed down. We were skeptical at first. We thought, you won't be able to take it back, but he just managed to trade super efficiently. And that Swarmhouse play was also something that we should touch on. It was a good move.
Yeah. You brought it up towards the end about how long those Swarm hosts survived and how much damage over time they dealt. They did so much work throughout the entirety of that game. Nidus is all over the base. Base is getting sniped. Drones getting sniped. Tech getting sniped. That was beautiful play there by threepoint.
Well, let's not forget Chappy. It's wonderful to see him sign up.
Yeah.
Always great seeing Australian players. And actually, if we look at the bracket light, how many local C players have we had sign up? Because there is I believe, a prize for the highest finishing C player?
There is. We had some decent representation from the Oceanic and Southeast Asian region. We had players like Chappy, Beastork, Demi, Dark Void as well. Some of them, unfortunately, have fallen, but we still have a couple more. And it looks like the winner of Beastork and Demi in the lower half of the bracket will determine the highest placing Oceanic and Southeast Asian player.
Yeah, that's right. And we do have to keep in mind for the players that aren't from Oceania or Southeast Asia, there's also participation prizes open to anyone who signs up, so you can just get a little bit of money just for playing. So even if you get knocked out in the first round, which guess what, just about half the people did, there's still also that you can keep on your horizon.
Yeah, and what I want to add to that as well, as we were, giving a bit of a shout out to Chappy as well, is the fact that this series wasn't necessarily one-sided. Like, it's one of those things where sure, it may have been a 2-0 on paper, but I feel like it was well within the means of Chappy to have taken that series, and that's also why I kind of hope to see more of him in the future. Like, he's not the most active player in online tournaments, but I would love to see more of him in Sparkling Tuna Cup.